Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. It's Adele at Sew for Serenity. First of all, I just want to start off by saying a massive thank you to everybody that's watched my vlog from last week. I can't believe that I think I've had like nearly 100 views and I think I've got 50 subscribers, which is just beyond my wildest dreams. And I really want to say a massive thank you to It's Me, Lauren, and also the Yorkshire Sew Girl, who both of them promoted my YouTube video and watched it and commented, and the comments were lovely, and it really means a lot because both of those YouTubers I watch all the time and they're just amazing, so it really meant a lot. The comments that everybody's made have just been so lovely. And I thank everybody for making those comments, and I've replied to all of those comments and I will do my utmost to make sure I keep doing that. I do read them. It means so much and just makes me feel happy that you're enjoying it, because that's the main thing. I get loads from watching everybody else's vlogs, so the fact that, you know, I can give that to someone else is really important. So thank you so much for doing that. And I also wanted to apologise to the Yorkshire Sew Girl because I didn't mention her in the first vlog, and I was mortified because I watch her so much as well and she always brings a smile to my face. So yeah, welcome to a Christmas Eve edition of #Friday Sews. And just to point out that it is Jen from the Jen Sewing Room that actually started #Friday Sews, and one of the lovely ladies that watched my YouTube video popped on the comments that that's who it was, so I thank you very much for that. So yeah, welcome to this week's episode of #Friday Sews. First of all, I will start off with what I'm wearing today. So I'll stand up and I will insert photos because I have got photos. This is my sewing related, if you can see, jersey, which I got from a company called Snapdragon Fabrics. Please check them out because they are just so good. They have so much fabric, lots of viscose, lots of jersey. They've got some French terry as well at the moment, which they haven't had before. And the fabric is just really lovely and really reasonable. I think this was £3.50 a metre, and I just got 1 metre of it, and I managed to squeeze out a Freya top, and this was my first ever Freya stretch item that I've ever sewn, and I used my overlocker. It did take me a little bit longer than it probably should have done because I didn't feel confident just using the overlocker to do it. I sewed the seams first on my sewing machine with a zigzag stitch, and then once I was happy with it, I then trimmed and re-sewed on the overlocker. So I'm really happy with it. The only thing that I'm not happy with is the collar, and you might be able to see that sewing is upside down, which I'm really frustrated about because I made sure I cut all of my pieces out the right way round. But what I didn't realise is because this collar is a rectangle, you fold it over. So although it was the right way round when I cut it, when I folded it over, I obviously turned it upside down. So sewing is upside down, which is frustrating. I have got enough material to cut out another one, but can I be bothered to unpick it? Do I really care that much? Probably not. I'm probably just going to stick with it. But I think it's really cute. It's lovely. It's really comfy. It was out of Tilly and the Buttons stretch book, which I'm starting to work through. Such a lovely pattern, really quick to sew, really easy to sew. The arms are so easy to put in on stretch compared to woven. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to be making loads more, and I really want to make the dress version as well. So yeah, that's I was happy with it. That was the only thing that went wrong on it, was the neckline, really. So yeah, I cut out the Tilly size 3, a straight size 3, didn't make any adjustments at all. I'm a bust size 34, I'm a waist 28, and hip 37, so that was fine for me. So yeah, really, really liked that. So that was my first make this week, which I was really pleased with. The second make that I have made this week is, I'll finish because I'd already started it, is the Bakerloo blouse with this lovely shimmery viscose that I got from So Hayley Jane outlet shop. It was her last 2 meters. She did a Black Friday sale and she did a YouTube video where she talked through all the fabrics, and to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have purchased this unless I'd seen that YouTube video where she showed the fabric, because it didn't do it justice really just on the website, and it was the last 2 meters that she had. So I purchased this and it's absolutely beautiful. I can't actually remember how much it was. I think it was £15. I think that, yeah, £15. So I cut all the pieces out, and I think if you remember on the last video I said, oh, I'd had this brainwave about perhaps doing an alternate colour underneath, and I'd gone for the leopard print. So as you can see, it's like this grey leopard print, and I really, really love it. I think it worked really, really well, and I also did the same with the cuffs. So it's got a pop of colour in the cuffs, the pop of colour in the collar, and also I use my bias tape that says my new favourite, I need to do snipping of the threads, my new favourite make, which is really, really cute. That was from the Felicity Fabrics that I got in the sale, which was £1 for 1 metre of bias binding. Again, I've not sewn an Nina Lee pattern before, so this is the line drawings. As you can see, I did the blouse. I really do want to do the dress as well, but this was the blouse that I did. From a beginner's point of view, these instructions were absolutely fantastic. Really simple. There are a few tricky bits with it. The thing I found the trickiest was putting in the bias binding. And it was just because I'd never done it before. I don't think I enjoyed the process, but I do love the finish with especially when the bias binding's got a cute little message on it. I've got this really cute little button, which I'll show. I don't know if you can see that. So it's sparkly. I'll show you those buttons in a bit because they were a new purchase. So that was a Rolo loop. I can't say it, but that's the little loop that attaches the button. And yeah, the collar, I mean, there are imperfections that I can point out. It's not, you know, one bit of the frill is a little bit thicker than the other. So if I did that again, I'd really make sure I line that up, and making sure that the gathers in the gathers around here are evenly distributed. But to be honest with you, I didn't really have any trouble with it. And this material is just super soft and snuggly, and I'll insert a photo of me wearing it. So you can see the full effect. But yeah, I love that. I'm going to wear that on Christmas Day. Super comfy. And I love it, yeah. So that was that one. Definitely recommend that pattern for a beginner. And what else did I make this week? So the other thing that I said I was going to do was use my sparkly velvet in the green that I got from Rainbow Fabrics at Kilburn, which was £3.49 a metre. I'll just grab it. And it was this material, which you can see has got a lovely sparkle in it. I was really worried that when I washed it, all the sparkle was going to fall out. And although the sparkle did come off, and it does come off wherever I walk, it still stayed, and it's like super sparkly still. So the pattern I was using for that was this pattern here, which is the McCall's M7999, and it's from Love Sewing magazine. So I made a cross between, so I made this bodice and these sleeves with the slit up the side, and it's kind of I suppose it's midi length, but I wanted to use the turtleneck because I just thought that would be more snuggly. So yeah, that's what I made. As I said, this came from the Love Sewing magazine, and the instructions were really, really easy to follow. I had an issue with the sizes. I think I mentioned this before, that on these McCall's patterns, in the dress that I made when I went on my sewing course, I made the size as per my measurements, and then it ended up being absolutely massive on me. I probably had about 3 or 4 inches of ease, which it's unwearable really. So I need to be careful of that going into making any more. So with this one, the measurements, it didn't have finished measurements, it only had body measurements, and I don't know whether that's because it's a stretch garment, but on my measurements I'm a 34 bust, and medium 12 to 14 is a 34 to 36 bust, 26 to 28 waist, which I'm a 28 waist, and a 36 to 38 hip. So I'm that is my size, I'm within that. So, but I had this gut instinct that it was going to be too big for me. So the small 8 to 10 is a 31 to 32 bust, a 24 to 25 waist, which I'm definitely not, and a 33 to 34 hip. So I cut out the medium thinking worst case I can downsize if it's too big. Cut it out, and I'll insert a picture of it. When I sewed it together, it was absolutely massive. I had probably about 2 or 3 inches on either side of my bodice. You can see the picture here. So it was way too big. So in a way it was good because I know now to trust my instincts. I don't know if anyone else finds this, but I'm definitely starting to understand my body. I can look at a pattern now and kind of understand what I can and can't get away with. And when I first started sewing, I'd heard other sewists say this, and I kind of just thought, I'm never going to get there. I don't get it. I'm never going to get clothes to fit me. But it does come. The more you get to know the designer, the more you get to know your body and understand material. And obviously I'm just starting to understand stretch material. So yeah, so I then re-cut out in the material a size small, and hoped that that would be okay. I did have a look at the difference in the pattern, and it looked like the small would be enough adjustment to fit my body and not be too small. And the stretch that it suggested was a 2-way stretch with at least 50% on the cross grain. Now, when I did test this material, it was about 40%. So again, I ummed and ahed about whether to use it or not. And to be honest with you, it's perfect everywhere in respect to the stretch. The only place where it's a little bit tight is around the neck. I do have to kind of ease, well, I'll say ease, I have to really tug at it to get it over my head. But I have got a big head, so maybe that's why. So this was a finished garment. Don't know if you can see it. So yeah, the turtleneck is a little bit, so it kind of, it's longer, so it kind of bags up, but I really like that look. But you can just fold it over if you want to, like this. It was really easy to sew. Again, I did the same thing. I was too scared to just use my overlocker on its own. I did the sewing first, then overlocked the seams, which worked perfectly. I had black thread, which I don't know why I used black thread. Should have really used a green, but you can't, I mean, this isn't going to show up. You can't really see. I mean, I know it's black, but it's fine. And yeah, I mean, it's really lovely. I'll insert a picture. Fits me much better with black tights and some black boots, although the slit's a bit, oh yeah, that was the one thing I had to change. The slit did come up quite high for me. So I did lower the slit up the side a little bit. Because it was a bit too high for me. I've only got white thread in my overlocker, so there's white thread on the inside. So again, it's not perfect, but it's my first ever sew with stretch velvet. I was really happy with it. There are mistakes on it. The neck seam isn't dead in the middle. Oh God, I don't know if you can still see. You can't even see it. So can you see the neck seam? So the neck seam, when I was sewing it in, it's a little bit skew with, but again, nobody knows, no one can see it. My hair will be down when I'm wearing it, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I absolutely love this. It's so lovely. I would never ever buy a velvet dress in the shop. don't know why this spoke to me, this material, but I'm so happy with it. I love it, and I'm going to wear this on Boxing Day to my friend, has a little house party, so all fingers crossed there's no restrictions and we can still socialise. That's what I'm going to be wearing. So yeah, that was a really, really lovely sew. Recommend it. Love Sewing magazine. You can buy back issues, so you can get it. I don't know if you can buy this pattern on its own, but yeah, I loved it. I'm going to make the shorter version as well, because I think that'd look nice with some leggings or some tights, with some boots as well. So yeah, that's another one that I'm going to make. Probably going to get some more velvet because I just really like it. So yeah, that was really good. So that was all my actual finished garment makes this week. So the other thing I said I was going to do is make my twirl out of the fabric that I got from the luxury So Hayley Jane box, which was the Lady McElroy Moroccan crepe, which I'll just get, hang on one second. Yeah, so that was this fabric here, which is lovely. It's got lovely drape, lovely wintry colours. So yeah, again, another Love Sewing freebie. I am going to make this view, which is the culottes with the princess seams and the lovely little cap sleeves there. So this is, again, the reason why I'm making a twirl of this, I don't normally make twirls, but I was worried that because of my experience with these McCall patterns, that if I cut out the material, especially with the princess seams, it's very hard to like make it, and the invisible zip, it's very hard to like bring the size in. I'm not skilled enough to do that, so I really want to get the size right first. So when you look at the measurements, my body measurements, and it has got finished garment measurements, which are on the pattern, which is really annoying because you have to get all the pattern pieces out to find them. The bust for my measurements is a size 12, 34, 26 and a half on the waist, so that would fit my 27, 28, and then a 36 on the hip. Well, I'm a 37 on the hip, so really it should, if I was going by these measurements, I should grade between a 12 and a 14. But again, that's what I did last time and it was way too big. So I looked at the finished garment measurements, and I can't remember what they were, but when you looked at the finished garment measurements for a size 10, they've kind of worked better, I felt. So the measurements on the size 10 are a 32.5-inch bust, a 25-inch waist, and a 34.5 hip, which obviously I'm much bigger than that. But the finished measurements, I think the bust was about 35.5. The waist was 29, and then the hip, I can't remember, but I wasn't too worried about the hip because it's quite a wide culotte. So I thought, right, I'm going to twirl this. So I got some duvets because I'd heard someone that's a good idea too. Because I didn't want to use any fabric, because then I'm just going to be annoyed if it's wrong and I've wasted some fabric, no matter how cheap the fabric was. So I used some duvets, which was just great because it just means you just do it really quickly. You don't worry about the fabric. I just cut it all out on the size 10. Didn't make any adjustments, cut it all out, was able to sew it up really quickly, not worry about it too much. When I was unpicking the seams, I could just rip it. It was just a dream, and I'm now totally open to making twirls again. I don't know if I'll ever make twirls in my nice fabric or in any like fabric. I'll probably always use duvets and old stuff, but yeah, it was really good. So I'll show it to you now. It's on my dummy. So this is the twirl that I made in this duvet. So it's just quickly sewn. And as you can see, it's got princess seams here, which fits really nicely. The bodice fitted really, really nicely apart from the waist. So my waist is strange. I haven't really got one. It kind of is quite straight, so it's quite wide compared to my other proportions. So yeah, I didn't have enough room here, just about, I'd say, 1 centimetre, and then on the trousers the same, just around the waist. So what I decided to do was, just for this, was let the side seams out by half, 0.75 on either side, because it's 1.5 seam allowance, centimetre seam allowance on either side. I thought I'd let it out by 0.75 on each side, and the same with the trousers, and that has given me enough room in the back for some ease and to get the invisible zip in. I haven't sewn it in, I've just pinned it in, and that works fine. So let's move that back. So what I've decided that I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little think about it, but sorry, camera's wobbling. I'm going to have a little think about it. I'm either going to just cut out the straight size 10 and have just let it out and not have such a big seam allowance at the side seams, or I'm going to just grade out by 1 centimetre on either side on the trousers and the bodice. I'm going to have a think about it. If you have any knowledge on this and you think I should go with one over the other, please put in the comments, because I really don't want to ruin this beautiful fabric and get frustrated, but I feel ready now to go ahead and cut out and sew. So that is probably something that I'm going to try and do at the top of my list. So before I make anything else, that is my next plan. So yeah, that worked really, really well. So I was really pleased with that. The other thing that I'm currently got a bit of a work in progress on is I did cut out quite a while ago the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress, which everybody seems to have been making at the moment. The Yorkshire Sew Girl just made an absolutely gorgeous version in a leopard print. She loves leopard print too, which so do I. So I really like that. So yeah, she's inspired me to pick up my Lyra again. So I'm making my Lyra in this fabric, which is a bee fabric. I don't particularly like bees, but I just saw this fabric. Again, it was from Snapdragon Fabrics, and I think it was £3.50 a metre, viscose. They've got it still in stock in black, they've got it in brown, and they've got it in like a burgundy colour. So yeah, really lovely, quirky. So I have started making this. I've done the bodice, started the bodice and the button placard there, but that's about as far as I've got, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure how much sewing I'm going to get done over Christmas. As I said, we're meant to be going to Centre Parks on the 30th of December, but obviously with the situation being how it is at the moment, that might get cancelled, which will be really disappointing, but there's nothing I can do about it. So if that does get cancelled, then I might have a chance to sew this one up. Any tips that any of you have on the Lyra, let me know. It's collar and buttons, which I'm a bit scared about, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, that's another one that is in the plan. So yeah, over the next couple of weeks, over the Christmas period, if I can get the Vogue 9075 culotte outfit cut out in the Lady McElroy fabric, and also get this kind of progress, the Lyra progress, then I'll be happy with that, because yeah, it's going to be harder to do. I've got 3 children. I've got a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and nearly 2. She's 2 in February. So they're all going to be here, and we'll be doing Christmas related stuff. And obviously if we do go away, then I won't be taking my sewing machine, even though I really would like to. Anyway, so yeah, so that's my makes and some of my plans. I need to have a look at my notes because there's so much to tell you about. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was comments that a lovely lady, I hope she doesn't mind me saying her name, Nina, made a comment on my YouTube channel saying that she really enjoyed the vlog and she'd love to know a little bit more about my journey. So how I learnt about materials, patterns, where I buy them from, what sewing machine I have, and what tools I use. So I thought I'd just cover that off a little bit now. So a little bit more about my journey. I think I shared that, you know, sewing was something that I'd been interested in, and I went on a course to learn how to do it, and it was a 2-day course on beginning sewing, and then I also did a dressmaker's course, and then everything else I've kind of just self-learned, watching all the YouTube videos, watching tutorials. The amount of invisible zip tutorials I've watched, I still can't do it. It's just crazy. But other things that I've used is I did sign up for the Sew Over It Stitch School, which was £5 a month, and that's got loads of useful sew alongs for some of their patterns. You get access to sew alongs. You also get access to loads of different tutorials about how to do different techniques, basically. So that's been really useful, and I've been using that quite a lot. The other thing that I use is a company called Seamworks that I've just subscribed to. So they are a subscription service where you pay, I pay the lower subscription, which was $9. I think it's reduced $9 a month, and you get access to 2 free patterns. Well, free, 2 patterns. You can download 2 patterns every single month. They've got loads of patterns on there, and they have actually got 1 free one, which you can go in and have a look at. And then I saw loads, and that's what took me to the website. Actually, I was looking for free patterns, which I'm always doing. Found this free pattern and downloaded it for a top, but then saw that you could get access to all these other ones, so I totally got sucked in. And I've downloaded a top called the Marlowe top, which I'll show you in a minute, and also a cardigan. And then next month I'll already know which ones I want to download for next month as well. So I thought that was really good. And their patterns are really lovely, and they have sew alongs as well, so you can download the pattern and then they have a sew along that you have access to as well. So again, that seems really great for beginners. Well, I feel like it's very good for me, because I do really like the sew alongs. So yeah, definitely that's something that I'm using. In respect of how I've learnt about materials, I've just purchased it. Again, haven't really wanted to spend too much money on it. I've gone to a lot of these cheaper places, but to be honest with you, I think the fabric's lovely when it's come through. There's not been really anything that's come through and I've been like, oh, I don't think I'm going to make anything with that. So rainbow fabrics, snapdragon fabrics, pound fabrics, those are where I've just purchased things. It's come through, I've had a look at it, and that's how I've learnt about fabric. Or I'll just Google, what is this fabric? And that's how I've kind of understood it. I haven't actually been to any fabric shops other than Hobbycraft, which isn't really a fabric shop as such. It does stock some, but not, you know, a massive array of fabrics. A lot of quilting cotton really is what it stocks. So yeah, that's something that in the new year I really want to start doing, going out to some local fabric shops. I live in Walsall, which is not far from Birmingham, so I'm very near to Guthrie and Garney. So yeah, that's somewhere I'd really like to go and visit, although their fabric is a bit more pricier. But you know, it'd be nice to splash out on a little bit of expensive fabric once I'm a little bit more expert in sewing. In respect of patterns, I like to find free patterns. I do a lot of research on the internet, follow a lot of people on Instagram, and then when I see a dress or a top or something that I like, I'll search it, and then I take screen prints of it and I just pop it into my Pinterest and kind of inspiration for when I think, oh, I need a pattern, what can I use? So yeah, that's kind of what I do with patterns. Really search for beginner patterns, and as I say, I've used the Tilly and the Buttons Love at First Stitch. I've got her stretch book, and I've also got Keep It Simple. So yeah, those are really good tools. I think they're very methodical. They take you through the different stages of learning to sew, and I think if I hadn't have gone through that Tilly and the Buttons Love at First Stitch, I wouldn't have found sewing my stretch material so easy, because I'd learned on woven how to insert a sleeve and all of those types of things. The transition into stretch is really good. So yeah, I feel like they're really good for new beginner sewists. In respect of my tools, I have a Brother FS70, I'm just looking at it, a Brother FS70 machine. It's a very good machine. It was only it was £230. I didn't want to spend an absolute fortune on something if I didn't, you know I was going to stick with it. It's got some really cool functions. It's got a self-threading needle, so that's really great. And then also the bobbin, you don't have to sort of thread the bobbin out. You just kind of, I can't really explain, you just kind of like put the thread to the side and it automatically loops it through. So that's really useful as well. And it's got all the different stitches, and it's a really good machine. I'm really pleased with it, and hopefully it will last me a very long time. In respect of the overlocker I've got, I stuck with the brother theme, did a lot of research. This is the brother 3034 WT. Again, did loads of research on these overlockers. This was £239. Again, didn't want to spend loads of money on them. It's a 4-thread, and it's also got it's got a rolled hem, a gathering foot. It had quite a few different foots that come with it. And it's also got an extended table and also a little tray to put all your scraps in. And these are things that don't come as standard with a lot of overlockers. So yeah, that was important that I got as much as possible. So again, beginner's overlocker, it's great. Absolutely love it, but I'm a little bit scared of it. The other tool that I couldn't do without is my dressmaker's dummy. It became really apparent when I started making clothes that you just can't make them for yourself without a dummy, really. It's very difficult to do to get the fitting right. So that's definitely something I'd invest in. And mine's one that's got the dials, so you can, you know, it's not perfectly to my body because, you know, you can only do so much with making the adjustments, but I can put something on there and be able to fiddle with it. And I know if it fits that dummy, it will fit me. So that's definitely something that I would recommend having. So yeah, that was just to answer some of those questions that Nina had for me. And then, so other things that I said I was going to do. I said I was going to sew with my Sew Hayley Jane fat quarters, which were the Christmas fat quarters. I said I was going to make face masks with these. These are all of them, they're so gorgeous. So Sewn on the Tamlin at Sewn on the Time shared that she made some face masks, and there were face masks that are from Oh So Crafty. You can download the pattern from Oh So Crafty, and Stitch Odyssey, who I follow on Instagram, has a tutorial, a video on how to make them, and they're so easy to make. I haven't made them in this material though, because my kids weren't that bothered by it. They wanted me to make it in had some snowman fat quarters, and they wanted it in that. So I'm probably going to make myself one and my partner one. However, I am waiting to see if the trip to Centre Park goes ahead, because if it doesn't, I don't really want to waste these Christmas fat quarters when I could use them next year for some gifts next year. Hopefully not masks next year, because hopefully we won't be having to wear them. So I have made the mask. The only thing I'm waiting for is the elastic, which should arrive today. But this is my middle daughter's mask. This is the snow dog, and this is the snowman. So that's what she wanted, and it mask just goes like that, and the elastic's coming. So that's how the mask goes. That's the one. My eldest daughter, she wanted the white with the snowman there, and then she's had the green as the corresponding. And again, I don't want to get makeup on it, but that's how it goes, over the nose and under the chin. And the elastic will just be inserted in there, and I'll stitch them up. So they're the two masks. So quick to sew they are. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, like there's 4 or 5 stitching lines. It's hardly any stitching at all. So yeah, they're a really quick sew and lovely, and the girls are excited to have those. So that was all the things. So I actually did everything that I said I was going to do, which I'm quite chuffed about. The other things that I've been doing is I've got this Marlowe pattern from Seamwork, which I shared with you last week about this fabric that I got from Rainbow Fabrics, where I've only got just over a metre. So I wanted to find, I want to make it into some kind of blouse, and I wanted a shirt, but I only have a metre. So I thought this was like, I don't know if you can see the picture. It's a basic shirt, short shirt, with quite boxy look to it, and I thought that would look perfect in it. So I've downloaded that. I've washed the fabric. I might try and cut, you know, over the next couple of days, put the pattern together and make that top, because that would be really nice. But again, I don't know if time will permit. But yeah, I really like that. I think that's going to be a lovely little make and a really cute, quirky kind of top. So that's that one. The other thing that I've purchased this week is the By Hand London have released a new shirt and dress called the Marie shirt and dress, and they were giving you 20% off, so I couldn't resist it. It was £9.20 it cost me, and this is the shirt version. It's got, I don't know if you can see it, it's got a really lovely collar detail. Yeah, might be able to find the line drawings actually. Yeah, so the line drawings actually show it better. So it's got this really like kind of Victorian collar and these cuffs that I love, and then buttons down the front, and then the blouse version, which I suppose you can mix up the collars and the cuffs. The blouse is like this, so I think they're really, really lovely. So yeah, I've got that. I don't really know what material I'm going to use for it, but I just purchased that because I loved it. So that's that one. The other patterns that I've got as well is I wanted to talk about free patterns a bit more, because there's so many out there, and I'll put a link in, but there's two places that I use a lot. So there's Peppermint Magazine, which I talked about on my last vlog. Then I also found this company called Mood Society. So it's Mood and then Society. And they have loads of free patterns. I would say, like, I didn't look through all of them, but there was 30 or 40. And they've got like full loungewear sets. They had like this hoodie dress, which was really nice. And then this blouse called the Flora blouse, which I thought was really, really lovely. And what really caught my eye was the back wings that it's got on it. So again, I downloaded that pattern because I just thought it was really gorgeous, and I think it'd be really gorgeous in, I'm thinking like a black broderie anglaise, is that how you say it, for that top detail with some pattern in it, and then just plain on the bottom. So I might just copy that. I haven't got that material in my stash, so it's something I'm going to have to kind of earmark. But I just really check out Mood Society because they had so many lovely patterns. One of the patterns they had was a scrap busting, well, no waist, that was what they called it, a no waist pattern. And I'll insert a photograph, but it basically had these big ruffly arms, and you don't actually waste any fabric. You use all of the fabric that the pattern asks for, so I assume there's no scraps or cutting out other than cutting into the shape. So yeah, definitely check those out because they were really, really good. The other pattern that I didn't share with you last week was what came in my So Hayley Jane box. So because I have the luxury box, you also get a pattern that comes with it. And this is the pattern that I got. It's the Gabby Dress by the Pattern Preacher, which I'd never heard of. And it's this really lovely off the shoulder kind of detail. It's for woven. I thought it was stretched, but it's actually for woven. And they're the line drawings. And I actually hashtagged this looked at the hashtag on Instagram, and there's some really beautiful versions. It's got these, I think these are called box pleats. I don't know if you can see those there. And the only reason I'm not going to make, this came obviously with the Lady McElroy. The only reason I'm not going to use a Lady McElroy for it is because you only actually need, how much fabric? 2 meters. No, 1.65 meters of fabric. So I don't want to use my 3.5 meters of Lady McElroy on this. I'll use something else. So I'm keen to make this dress because I think it's really cute. The off the shoulder detail. A little bit worried it might annoy me, but I think it's really cute. So that's another one that's in my stash that I potentially might use one of the fabrics that I've purchased for this. But yeah, that's a lovely one as well. So pop that one down there. Okay, so next I thought I'd talk about my purchases that have come this week. So first of all, I needed to buy some more labels because the Kylie and Machine labels that I got, the Me Made, I think it was, they have all gone. So I was a bit sad about that. And I didn't get the Kylie and the Machine's advent calendar either. Really wanted it. I kept looking at it. I know Tamlin had decided from Zone on the Time, decided she wasn't going to get it, and then did treat herself to it, and I was really, really tempted to get it, but not this year. I am going to get it next year. I just couldn't warrant the money that it would cost for it. But I've been excited to see everybody unboxing theirs and have been a little bit envious. But I bought these from eBay. Sorry, not eBay, Amazon, and they're I'm going to take them out of the plastic. They are made with love. They were £5.99 for 100 tags. These should keep me going for a very long time. And they're just really, really cute. And they just basically say, I mean, they're not as, oh, they're basically handmade. I'll insert a picture if this doesn't come up very good on the video. Handmade with love, basically. And I just thought they were really cute and a bit more budget option than the Kylie and the Machines one, because I just haven't got enough money at the moment with being Christmas and stuff. So yeah, I thought they were a really good option. The other thing that I purchased was some buttons. I just wanted a really nice sparkly button to go with my Bakerloo blouse. So I brought two options and went with, and the first option was the one that I showed you, which was this lovely, it's got like sparkle, it's black with sparkle strands in it, and it's just really cute. So I got 9 of those. I think they were like, I want to say £3 something for 9, but they were lovely. And then we also got this one with like glitter specks. Oh, with glitter specks in. Oh, that's showing up really. It's like holographic, but I went with the other one. But yeah, these are really cute as well. And I'm sure I'll use them for something going forward. And the company I got these from was an Etsy company called Buttons and Things. I'll put it the right way around. Buttons and Things. So yeah, they've got loads of lovely buttons. So check them out, and they were really reasonably priced as well. So yeah, they were the things. And then I have got some fabrics, not as much as last time. So I'll just grab those. The first fabric that I bought was from, you'll recognise it probably, was from So Hayley Jane outlet shop. I absolutely love my Lady McElroy fabric that I got in my luxury box, but I also loved the classic box fabric. Usually it's the other way around, that I'm not that bothered by the fabric in the classic box, but this was a really good one. So if those of you don't know, it was this gorgeous shimmery and viscose in a burgundy. I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely beautiful. And the drape is gorgeous. It shimmers. Oh, it's just absolutely lovely. So she had some left. So I went onto the website and it was £8 a metre. So I snapped up 2 meters of it because I just wanted it, you know. Well, that's the only defence I have. I wanted it. So yeah, I really like it. The patterns that I'm thinking of for this is the patina blouse from Friday Pattern Company. Well, they're both from Friday Pattern Company actually. The patina blouse from Friday Pattern Company, I'll put a picture of it in there. Or the Adriana dress from Friday Pattern Company. And I don't know which one. So I'd love to know your thoughts, which one you think I should go for. The Adriana dress, or the patina blouse in this lovely shimmery viscose. But it's just gorgeous. Part of me thinks the dress I won't wear as much, the blouse I'll probably wear more. But yeah, I don't know. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. And the lovely Hayley actually put me 2 lollipops in as well. So I got 2 lollipops to eat while I looked at that, which was really great. The next fabric that I got was from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. They had a sale recently and I went to buy this and they sold out, but then they put it back on, so I don't know what happened. But it's basically, so it's a Moroccan, I'm probably saying that wrong. It's a little bit sheer actually, but I think it'd be all right once it's on. In this khaki colour, which I do wear a lot of khaki. This is very unusual for me to have a plain fabric, but it was £9.99 for 4.7 metres. So I've got 4.7 metres of this and I just couldn't resist it. This is really my colour. I love green. I love the khaki green, and this is going to make some nice summer dresses, winter dresses, or I'm thinking a jumpsuit as well. This could make. So yeah, I just purchased this just because of how cheap it was. It was £9.99. It was dead stock. Yeah, and I've just got nearly 5 metres of it. So I should get a good few outfits out of that. couldn't really resist it. And the nice thing about Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn is they always put little gifts in. So the last 2 orders I've had, I got some invisible zips. And then the first order that I ever did, they gave me a little bag of all different buttons, which was really cute. Loads of little buttons in it. And I want to say it was like probably about 50 buttons. And yeah, and then I ordered as well once, and they gave me a voucher for £10 because they'd reached 10,000 subscribers on Instagram. So yeah, I just really love Rainbow Fabrics. Can't praise them enough. So thank you for that. And then finally, the last fabric I got was in a D-stash on Facebook. That's a top tip. Join the Facebook fabric D-stashes, because lots of people getting rid of their fabric will post, and you get really good bargains. And also, if you want to look through your fabric and D-stash and get some money back, A, you make someone else happy, and B, you get a little money back to buy more fabric. So this lady, she had loads of stuff, and she had a cable knit, which I really wanted. I'm desperate for some cable knit, but I want to try and get it on a D-stash as opposed to paying for it, because it can be quite, I think it can be like nearly £10-15 a metre. But that went really quickly. But she had this pink, which isn't really my colour really, peachy stretch. It's stretchy crepey. It was very stretchy actually, crepe in a peachy pink, and it was 3.7 metres of it for £3. So I thought this would be great for twirls. So yeah, I've got that. But actually it's really nice. So, you know, maybe doesn't necessarily go in my colourings, but I'm open to trying it. So yeah, don't know what I'm going to make with that, but yeah, £3, can't really go wrong. And the reason why I think it was discount was it's got some black marks along the selvage, but there we go. Can you see that? But I'm not bothered by that. It'll probably wash out. You don't use the selvage anyway, so that was fine. And then the other, I can't remember how much of this, again, I think over 3 metres of this Georgette, which I've never worked with Georgette, but Georgette is like a sheer material. And this is just in black. Again, this was a couple of quid. And I'm thinking some kind of, I mean, it might look nice as like a wilder gown underneath with a slip underneath is what I'm thinking. Or for a blouse, or some, you know, I'm open to suggestions. So any dresses that you think that need a lining that this could go with, I think it would make a really lovely dress of some description, but it's just getting the right pattern. So if anybody has any ideas for those types of patterns that allow for like a chiffon or a Georgette, please let me know, because I'm keen to use this. I think it's black again, you know, black's everyone's colour, isn't it? So I really would like to use this at some point. So yeah, so that was the other thing that I purchased. So yeah, I think that's all my makes. I just check I haven't got anything else to say, because check my notes. I think that's everything. So I think I'm gonna obviously upload this on Christmas Eve for you guys to watch. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate, please comment, let me know what you're liking, what you're not liking. I'm really enjoying doing these. It's really helped me keep me on track with my sewing, knowing that I've got some accountability to kind of let you guys know what I've been doing. Loved hearing your comments, and I've got some plans for some other videos that I want to upload as well. I'm going to do the Make 9 video, which for those of you who don't know, the Make 9 is basically a challenge. Well, it's not a challenge, it's basically where you choose 9 garments that you're going to make throughout the year, and you update with your progress throughout the year. So they don't have to be pattern specific. It can just be, I want to make a coat, I want to do this, I want to do pants, I want to do a blouse. But yeah, I've chosen my 9, and I'm going to do a Make 9 video for you guys in the new year. I'm also going to do a video, just a vlog, just on my Tilly and the Buttons Love at First Stitch book and make, so I can go through those of you. And then also I'm going to do a fabric stash. So you're probably knowing that I buy a lot of fabric and I've got a lot of it stashed around the house. I think I might do a video where I go through all of my fabric and show you all my different fabrics that I've got. That might stop me buying any more. And then the final thing that I'm going to do is a New Year's resolution kind of sewing video. I don't know how long that will be, but some things that I want to make sure I do this year. Not necessarily around patterns, because that'll be my make 9, but just things like, one of the things that I want to try and do is at least do something sewing related every single day as a habit, even if it's just for half an hour or 10 minutes. So yeah, that's something that I'll hopefully upload in the new year as well. So please visit me on Instagram at Sew for Serenity, and message me with any comments. Please let me know of any pattern recommendations, any other vloggers that you think I should watch, and yeah, just communicate with me please, and I will sign off there. I hope you all have a lovely Christmas.